So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Thank you all for joining us for this 12th webinar in AmCham Portugal webinar series. My name is Rodrigo, and I'm the project coordinator at AmCham Portugal. And it is a pleasure to welcome you to today's session, Living and Investing in Portugal, Key Insights for US Audience. First of all, I would like to extend a sincere thank you to Bison Bank, a valued member of AmCham Portugal, and to UCI, União de Créditos Imobiliários, for partnering with us on today's webinar and for sharing their expertise with our audience. At AmCham Portugal, one of our priorities is in fact to strengthen the economic relationship between Portugal and the United States by creating opportunities for dialogue, knowledge sharing, and business connections. This webinar series is part of that mission, providing practical and reliable information to US citizens and international professionals that are considering to move to Portugal, and they find Portugal as a destination to live, invest, or expand their business activities. Over the last few years, Portugal has continued to establish itself as one of Europe's most attractive destinations for international investment and talent. Its economic stability, strategic location, quality of life, and growing innovation ecosystem have increasingly attracted American investors, entrepreneurs, and families looking to build long-term opportunities in Europe. And today's session has been designed precisely with that audience in mind. Over the next hour, we will explore some of the key financial considerations when relocating to Portugal, including banking solutions, investment structures, international transfers, real estate financing, and the broader factors that continue to make Portugal an attractive destination for US investors. Following the presentation, we will have a Q&A session, and I encourage everyone to submit their questions through the chat throughout the webinar, and we will address as many as possible at the end. Now, it is a great pleasure to pass the floor to our two great speakers, Nuno da Rocha Correia and Paulo Morais. Thank you once again for your availability, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Portugal is no longer just a destination to visit. For many international families, it is becoming a place to live, to invest, and plan for the future. I would like to start by thanking AmCham Portugal for organizing this webinar and for giving us the opportunity to be together for this session. I would also like to warmly welcome all the participants, especially those joining us from the United States or with an interest in Portugal. You are very welcome to our country. For many Americans, Portugal offers something increasingly valuable: a sense of safety, balance, openness, and quality of life, combined with access to Europe and stable environment for long-term planning. I hope this session gives you a clear and practical view of what it means to live and invest in Portugal from a US perspective. Well, my name is Nuno, and I'm the managing director at Bison Bank. I have worked for more than 30 years in capital markets, investment banking, and private banking. And today, my focus is on helping international clients understand Portugal, identify opportunities, and structure their banking and investment needs with confidence, clarity, and proximity. During this session, we will cover 6 main areas. We will start with the current context and why Portugal is so relevant today. Then I will briefly introduce Bison Bank. After that, I will walk you through our main business line and other banking service. The real estate topics will be presented by Paulo Morais from UCI, and at the end, we will leave some time for questions. So let me begin with the broader context. The question is not why Portugal. The real question is why Portugal now? So Portugal offers a rare combination of political stability, quality of life, access to Europe, and openness to international capital. For many investors, Portugal is not only a lifestyle choice, it is also a capital preservation decision. In a world with more geopolitical, fiscal, and market complexity, investors are looking for places that are stable, well-connected, and internationally oriented. When we speak with US investors and families, we usually see some common theme. They are looking for optionality. They are not simply looking for another investment location. They are looking for another place to live, another currency exposure, another gateway to Europe, and another way to protect family wealth across generations. Portugal can play an important role in all these dimensions, especially when clients have the right banking and advisory support. This is exactly where a banking partner becomes important. Moving capital, investing abroad, or relocating a family is not a financial decision. It is also a trust decision. And this brings us to Bison Bank and to the way we support international clients.
In a world that is constantly changing, trust is essential. For over 25 years, Bison Bank has combined experience, vision, and innovation. We are a Portuguese bank with in-depth knowledge of the local market and a truly global presence. Through a strong network of partners, we connect customers to opportunities worldwide, with transparency, closeness, and solutions tailored to each investor. In private banking, we create customized solutions for high net worth individuals and institutional investors. As a deposit bank, we offer rigor, agility, and expertise in supporting fund management. In corporate advisory, we support companies, family offices, and investors through strategic and transactional processes. And through digital assets, we provide secure and regulated access to the universe of digital assets. We work side by side with every customer, with simple, personalized solutions supported by highly specialized teams. We facilitate access to Portugal, helping international investors grow with confidence and security. Bison Bank, your partner in Portugal.
So as you saw in the video, our main business lines are private banking, depository and custody service, and digital assets. In private banking, our focus is on specialization, close relationships, and tailored solutions. In custody, we bring experience, innovation, and agility to clients who need secure asset administration. And in digital assets, we provide regulated access to an emerging asset class, always with a strong focus on safety, compliance, and institutional standards. Our advisory service is built around tailored portfolios. We combine financial planning, investment management, and execution within one advisory relationship. Clients benefit from global connectivity, access to international partners, markets insights, and strong commitment to their objectives. For global investors, custody is fundamental. It is about safekeeping, settlement, income, collection, and corporate actions. But above all, it is about trust. We support multi-currency needs in euros, US dollars, pounds, Hong Kong dollars, Swiss francs, and many others. And our custody solutions are designed to help clients manage assets efficiently. Digital assets are becoming part of the institutional finance landscape. At Bison Bank, our role is not only to make digital assets look simple, our role is to help clients access this market in a safer, regulated, and more understandable way, supported by strong compliance, AML, and KYC standards. Beyond investment and custody, we also provide complementary banking services, including mortgage loans, Visa debit cards, home banking, and dedicated banker support. These services are important because relocating or investing in Portugal often requires more than an investment account. Clients also need practical banking solutions that support daily life, property ownership, and long-term relation with the bank. The onboarding process to open a bank account is simple and fully supported by our team. It starts with the initial contact and basic documentation such as passport, proof of address, contact details, and the purpose of the account. Then we move to the digital onboarding. Everything is done remotely. Document review, NIF requirements, and compliance check. Once the account is approved, it is activated, and the client receives access to his home banking. And he always has a dedicated relationship support, a banker. And finally, what really makes the difference is the team. Private banking is, above all, a relationship business. Our ambition is to be more than a bank account in Portugal for you. We want to be a trusted partner for our clients and build a relationship with ourselves, with the country, with our community, supporting you over the long term through investment decisions, reallocation needs, family planning, and changing priorities. Thank you very much for your attention. And with that, I'm pleased to hand over to Paulo Morais from UCI, who will guide us through the real estate topics.
Nuno, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon to you all. My name is Paulo Morais, and I am the Partnership Manager at the UCI. It's a company with the only thing we do is mortgages, nothing else. We have been on the market in Portugal since 1999, so we already have 27 years experience in Portugal, and we exist in Spain for more than 35 years. It's a joint venture between the Santander Bank, the principal bank of Spain, and Grupo BNP Paribas, the principal economic group in France. First of all, I would like to thank to the American Chamber of Commerce and also to the Bison Bank for the kind invitation you addressed to UCI. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Let me start with a brief overview of the Portuguese real estate market at the moment. Recent data concludes that Portugal is still outperforming the euro area, and housing demand is resilient. 7.6 house price index growth in 2025. Over the past 10 years, in a country with around 11 million people and a strong ownership culture, we have consistently consistently seen over 100,000 property transactions per year. This reflects a mature, stable, and high professional market. Looking specifically at 2025, out of nearly 170,000 properties sold in Portugal last year, about 28% were acquired by foreign buyers. So roughly 1 in every 4 properties was purchased by international clients, and the US nationals are leading this segment. I'm sure that you have already heard that Portugal is often referred to as the California of Europe, and there are several reasons behind this strong international demand. We offer an excellent quality of life combined with a competitive cost of living, an extremely high level of safety, and attractive investment opportunities with strong property value appreciation. Additionally, the flexibility of the remote work, the welcoming environment, and Portugal's strategic location with easy access across Europe and direct flight to several cities in the United States make it an ideal destination. And I don't know if you noticed, I didn't even mention Portuguese food. From a financial point of view, the banking sector is extremely well prepared and experienced in supporting international clients, whether they are residents or non-residents. The basic difference between one and another is if you are a resident, you work, you live in Portugal, you have incomes here. A non-resident is someone who doesn't have any savings, doesn't have any investments, properties, nothing in Portugal. And just to give you a timeline of the journey, in practical terms, the process usually starts with the reception of the client's financial documentation. That allows the bank to assess and pre-approve the mortgage. Fast and efficient mortgage approval, 24 to 48 hours maximum. After that, the property is appraised by an independent evaluation company. And at the same time, UCI performs a full legal review of both property and seller's documents, ensuring maximum security for the buyer before moving forward with the purchase agreements. So, we can easily state that between the bank, the notary, the land registry office, and the city council, everything is done to deliver an excellent customer experience with zero margins for mistake and in useful time. Nuno, obrigado. As to the company I represent, UCI, we are mortgage experts and we have been financial international buyers since the year of 2002. In these last years, I can state that we have learned a lot with experience and the exchange of knowledge with these international clients. And over the years, we have worked with more than 100 different nationalities. But in the last 3 to 4 years, US clients have become our #1 segment. For non-residents, our loan-to-value is 70% of the property price, and the repayment term is up to 30 years. We are proud to say that we have responsible, transparent, and green mortgage. From the interest point of view, the interest rates. I had another call this morning with the real estate market and the banking sector as well, with more than 400 people present, and Portugal and Spain are on the bottom of the low interests in the Eurozone. So it's a good place to invest and a good place to have a mortgage. Coming back to UCI again, one of our key strengths is the fully digital process, which allows clients to complete everything remotely with high security, including dual authentication via email and SMS. Whenever they need to sign something, except for the deed itself, they can do it from wherever they are. We also provide a highly personalized service. Each client works with a dedicated advisor who supports them throughout the entire process and is available whenever needed. I usually say that we don't have working hours. If a customer send me a WhatsApp or something 10 o'clock in the evening asking a simple question and I have my phone in my hand, I will answer to them, no problem at all. So personal advice through all the phases of the buying process is our rule number one. Also, we have extensive experience with US financial documentation, including the Form 1040, the Form 1099, W2, the schedules, as well as different company structures, such as LLCs and partnership, corporations, and so on. And why am I saying this? Because we work with a wide range of client profiles, from salaried employees to self-employed professional and business owners. And something new after COVID, we also finance investors who generate income through financial assets such as portfolios, funds, bonds, or deposits. To conclude, I would like you to visit uci.pt and explore our economy. Nuno, can you please give a click? Thank you. You will see. Thank you. Obrigado. On the previous one, sorry. Okay, that on the bottom right, you will see that sign. See from yourselves what our clients have to say about our service. We are proud to maintain an evaluation of 4.9 out of 5 based on more than 6,000 client reviews. In many ways, this is the equivalent of the TripAdvisor for banking, a clear reflection of the trust and satisfaction our clients place on us. I will end with a short video, and after that, we have time, and if you have any questions, I will gladly answer. I'm totally available. Thank you. Nuno.
Life can be very normal. The same time, the same clothes, the same car, the same meals, the same ideas, the same routines. Sometimes the norm suits you, but other times it doesn't. Your life is just yours, and your financing should be too. It's time to move beyond the norm. Your home is not just normal, and neither are the solutions we provide to finance it. Your situation is not the norm, and having a dedicated person who answers you after 3 p.m. isn't the norm either. When you move beyond the norm, finance is just that, finance. No bundle products, no salary direct deposit required. Because when you move beyond the norm, personal relationships matter just as much as reaching the right solution. Feelings aren't the norm either. The fact that most of our clients are actually satisfied with their financing isn't either. We know that everyone who works with us sees things as we do, as you do. We are UCI, a financial institution specialized in mortgage solutions, and we do things differently. Because if you move beyond the norm, so do we. UCI.
Obrigado, Nuno. Thank you. I think we have a couple of questions on the chat.
Thank you very much, Nuno and Paulo. Yes, we have here some questions, some general ones. Stephanie, yes, we'll be more than happy to share the contacts, especially from previous also webinars, and for sure Paulo and Nuno will be more than happy to share their emails or team email through the chat. Regarding previous webinars, some of them they are shared in our website. But if you want a specific contact from a specific webinar, at AmCham we'll be more than happy to manage that and to share with you if possible. So I would say that if some participant want already to drop a question at the chat regarding the topic of our session, about any specific point that Paulo or Nuno mentioned, while we are still waiting, I maybe I have here a question to Paulo and Nuno, if I may, and maybe to encourage our participants also to drop their questions. I was thinking, Paul, when and thinking maybe specific, not just for American citizens, but for someone that is arriving in Portugal, what should be the financial priorities during their first months in Portugal? And having this question in mind, the mortgage solutions. For you, what should be the first priorities that these people need to have in mind?
Well, thank you, Rodrigo. As a first step, anything to be done on the banking side and also on the mortgage side needs the Portuguese tax number. So the first thing to do is to apply for a Portuguese tax number. That does not mean that someone with a Portuguese tax number will have tax obligations in Portugal. It's just a number that identifies the person in order to be able to open a bank account and to start the process of banking in Portugal. So that would be the first step. And then depending on the objectives of the person, we recommend that people start by using the bank in Portugal like they do in the United States. So it's very easy, very straightforward, and it's like having a current account in the United States and asking for a mortgage over there, or transferring funds to diversify the risk of having everything in US dollars, having a euro account to be used wherever they wish. So that's something that it's very, very similar to what people use in the United States. Keep in mind that a bank account in Portugal, it's like a universal account. Means that people can use it as a current account, as a saving account, as a custody account, as an account for the mortgage. So under the same account number, under the same IBAN, the client can do everything, including mortgages that are provided, in our case, by UCI.
No, thank you. Before coming back to your question, Rodrigo, let me just answer a question here from Fernando Gonçalves about a database for real estate promoters. We don't have a database for real estate promoters, but we have several companies also based on the United States that are already in Portugal. For instance, in the end of 2025, I was invited to the opening in Portugal of the Corcoran Real Estate, a group based, I think, in New York, and pretty well known. Also, you have KW, you have Remax, you have several companies, real estate companies here that work also that operate and are original from the United States. And yes, I mean, in the real estate business, are very formatted. I would like to say we have a professional real estate trends because we have lots of demand, and in every corner, I mean, from Lisbon to Algarve to Porto, from other interior parts of our country, you have specialized people that know the market, that know the prices, that can understand the needs of their customer, and give them a good support in finding the house they want, the house they need. Again, whether they have incomes or investments or the NIF, as Nuno was talking about in Portugal, or whether if they don't have any incomes here. I mean, in our case, if you are self-employed or something working based on California, but you want to have your family in Portugal, studying, whatever, living here, we can provide that mortgage considering your incomes all your life from US instead of Portugal. You don't need to have a working contract here in Portugal to be able to have a mortgage. Also, what we notice most of the times, we walk through top clients with savings 7 to 8 digits that they don't need the money to buy a house, but that money, those savings 7 to 8 digits, are in the bank in some country, United States, for instance, Brazil, and other countries, and the interest rates they receive are like double digit. So they prefer to use Money's Bank at 3 or 4% a year and keep their savings on their own bank. They only use 20 to 30% because I was talking about 70% LTV, the loan to value, but LTV 70% is our policy. If every now and then we need to go to 75, maximum 80% of the property price, we can go from 70 to 80. Okay, no problem at all. And that advice that Nuno was telling you right now, start using the account as you use in your country, paying supermarket and so on. Pretty good advice. Rodrigo, I don't know if I answered your question.
Perfectly. Thank you so much, Paulo and Nuno. Once again, just invite our participants to drop your questions, comments. Of course, they are more than welcome. And for sure, Paulo and Nuno are more than available to try to reply and to especially to clarify any question that you have.
Let me just say one thing,
Yeah.
Rodrigo, if you don't mind.
Please.
Since COVID, since these international demands that we start observing in Portugal, I noticed also that we have lots of things to offer to these communities, whether they are from United States, Brazilian, from Northern Europe, and so on. Like, I mean, everything from dance to sports, to travel, to hiking, and so on. And people connect and communicate and use those sports and those activities to also share, to know people, to upgrade their network, and to share experience. What do you do? Where have you been? What have you done first? Where should we go on vacation? Where do you buy your flights? What is the international school that your kids are? So I think we are pretty oriented to international clients since ever, but especially since the COVID.
That perhaps Paulo can. Oh, we have here a question actually from Fernando Gonçalves. There, Paulo, so if we have real estate assets to sell in some place in Portugal, like for example Alcácer do Sal, Lisboa, or Alentejo in general, we should consult one of these real estate companies. There is no site directly turned to the possible clients like or similar to Idealista, Imovirtual, for instance. Where could we put some publicity to those assets, Paulo?
Yeah. I always recommend because if you have a disease, you go to the doctor. If you have a problem with finances, you go to the accountant. If you have a problem with your bank, you go to your bank manager. So I always recommend, if you want to sell a house, to look for your real estate agent. Still, of course, you can sell the house from your own. in those websites like Idealista, Imo Virtual. You can put your ad on those websites. But I always recommend a real estate agency because after that you will need to take care of some documents so that the house is able to be sold properly. And that documentation usually is done is taken care of by the real estate agent. So my advice is look for a professional that deals with that every day, but also you can do it as for your own, no problem at all. That is possible. Yes, Fernando.
And perhaps Nuno and Paulo can also add here and following here the thought that you, Paulo, mentioned after COVID, you noted this increase in this search for Portugal on the market. Both of you, do you note or do you feel that the client profile, of course, having in mind this post-COVID situation, but do you feel that there was a change in, for example, the American investor profile change in these last years when it's searching for a housing in Portugal, a specific investor in Lisbon or in another big city in Portugal? Do you feel that in these last years, do you note a change in these investors' profiles?
I think from the bank perspective, and 1/3 of our client base is from United States, we have a little bit of everything. So we have people that are still working for big companies, and they are able to work remotely. So they choose to move to Portugal with their families, and they still work for Google or Apple or Spotify or other companies that have that in place. And they work from Portugal on that. Also, many of our clients are still active in terms of their business in the United States, and they keep their business up and running with their teams there. And they move to Portugal with the family because they feel more safe, more happy, and they continue to manage the business out of Portugal. Some also hire people in Portugal to support their business in the United States, and many are just people that are retired and they want to be in Europe, in Portugal, and they have Portugal as their new home, and we are very grateful for that. So we have a little bit of everything, and the good thing is we keep on receiving people from the United States, which make us very happy.
What I noticed, Rodrigo, according to what Nuno was saying, 20 plus years ago, people used to search for Algarve, where we do have several golf courses. Retired people from US and from Northern Europe used to look for Algarve, most exclusive. But since COVID, not only Algarve, Lisbon, and Oporto have demand. You have interior cities like coastline from the American segment. It's more coastline, but you have some other demand on in Alentejo, in the interior, from for instance, the people from the Netherlands, and so today not only Algarve or Lisbon, and not only retired people, as Nuno was saying, working active people from all ages are looking for Portugal because of the coastline and what the rest of the other reasons that we have mentioned. Fernando, sorry, I didn't understand the question that way. No, there is no direct site to promote that real estate in the US. It has to be the agents. You have agents on those companies that are the top producers that are specialized in Brazilian market, North America, and so on, that they have those connects there and they partnership to promote this kind of real estate to be sold. There is no company, no website. You have to find the person on one of those companies, those real estate companies that have these connections to the US. I think is that. What are you asking for? I don't think there is any obstacle because as the opinion of the clients that we have here that buy houses, for instance, for 600,000 up to 1 million. You have houses from other parties, but for instance, from 600,000 to 1 million euros, what they share with us is with that amount, they wouldn't buy something that close to the beach, that close to the city. They have to be close to the beach, to be close to the city. They have to double that investment. So I don't think there is any obstacle. Also because of the language, Portugal are people who speak fluently Spanish, English, also French. We are the headquarter of several call center companies because of our fluency in languages. So we don't need to translate your documentation in order to open an account, in order to give you a mortgage. So I don't think there is any obstacle to invest in real estate here in Portugal.
Thank you, Paulo and Nuno. I don't know if we have any other questions that some of our participants would like to drop at the chat, since our time is also coming to an end. Meanwhile, so Paulo and Nuno, once again, thank you very much for joining us. It was a really productive, and especially it was important the information that you shared with us, with our participants, practical and relevant information that for someone that is planning a move to Portugal or for someone that are already in Portugal, but of course needs some guidance on preparing some next steps while staying in Portugal. I would say was a really important and relevant, and of course at AmCham we really appreciate the collaboration with Bison Bank and also with UCI. So thank you all that joined us today. Of course, stay engaged through AmCham social media or website to follow our next sessions. Perhaps maybe just after summer we will be back to our webinar series, but for sure we will continue, and we hope to see you all again at AmCham webinar series. Thank you very much, Paulo and Nuno, once again. Thank you.
Thank you,
Rodrigo. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all for your presence. See you soon, I hope.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.